Today, I don't have a coaching topic. I haven't streamed in a while, and when I was streaming, I really enjoyed just generally talking about random stuff with you guys, and haven't done that in a while. So I'm here to talk about what's been going on in the life of Billy, the guy who's on YouTube. And yeah, so these days, I've been working, I mean, obviously doing these videos, but something I've been really getting into in the past few months is baking. Um, I got really into baking, and at first I baked the no knead bread. Um, it's like a rustic bread that doesn't require any kneading, and it just takes a really long time, right? It takes over 24 hours to make that bread, and that was the bread that I usually go for. But I wanted to be a little bit more adventurous with my bread making for some reason. I don't know what clicked in me, but I was like, you know what? I want to get into a little bit deeper into this hole of baking, and so I tried making some baguettes, and then I tried making some high hydration baguettes, which required this like level up from the baking. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna try making some like dinner rolls, the Chinese style, and that was really good. And then I wanted to make a Polish based Italian. What's the bread's name? Focaccia, and I made like all these different breads. And then the thing is, in my household, I like bread. My wife is okay with it, but she's more of the pastry and like baked goods kind of a person. So she was like, all this stuff that you bake, only you eat. I want something can make me something that I want to eat too. And then so um, because I got better at baking in general. My muffins used to be really like dry, but I figured out like by looking at the dough consistency, I can kind of estimate how uh moist the inside is going to be. So I was like, oh, so I've been over mixing my muffin dough, so that's why it didn't work. And then so now I get these really fluffy muffins, and I like but doing the banana walnut. I buy like one bunch of bananas, and then I eat some for snacks, give some to my dog, and then when they're about to go really black, I turn them into banana bread. And it's nice because yeah, banana bread is kind of hard to share, but with muffins, I can always share some with my neighbors, and it's been really good for my neighbors too. It gives me a bonding opportunity. I just gave this to my neighbors, and they were so delighted, and they were so surprised. And really delighted by a simple gift as a muffin that I made too much of, and their reaction made me really reflect a lot about wow, like just these little human gestures do a lot for other fellow human beings, in this lifetime. What else? I have been surfing in Hawaii this year because I had some business trips to take in Hawaii, but I haven't been able to surf in California until this Sunday, so last Sunday. I shot the vlog, but then I shot the surfing diary, but couldn't upload it. But I went surfing for the first time in California, Santa Monica, and man, it's the first time I went surfing since the wildfires, the LA fires, and so much of the beach is just ash, and really made me think a lot about the impermanence of everything, right? All this sand and all this ash scattered across the sand. It used to be somebody's home. It used to be a tree. It used to be all these different things, but now it's just debris on the sand, and it makes me feel many different things. And but I think the recovery effort is going pretty okay. And the Pacific Coast Highway opened up again, and then they're opening up, Malibu, and things like that. Santa Monica, I think some areas near the pier are still not safe to, play in the water because of the, fire residual, ash and chemicals and things like that. But, you know, I'm fairly sure this took a really big toll on the environment as well, which makes me really feel good that I'm playing my part in trying to save the environment, like minimize spending. And this is something. I stopped eating meat. I think it's been like a week or something. Some weeks ago, I stopped eating meat, and it just kind of clicked. Like, oh wait, I could, continue making rationalizations about how I need to eat meat, and then one day I was like, wait, but I don't need to do that, and then it just kind of clicked. So doing these things at least makes me feel like I'm doing my part with the earth. And my friend has a nonprofit helping rebuild homes in LA to the displaced families who can't really like afford to the rebuilding. And so working with that nonprofit, Lotus Rising LA. So that's all meaningful work. And whenever I do something, I want to make sure that it contributes back into the world, because I receive so much from you guys, right? You guys don't have to watch this YouTube channel, but you always, show up, and you do sometimes write me comments, and it means a lot to me, and I want to make sure that your love gets reciprocated out back into the world. Um, what else? Well, my dog, he's going I have two dogs. Well, one's a Maltese and one's a toy poodle. The Maltese has been going through some kind of a personality shift. He's usually a very low maintenance dog, but he's been very whiny lately. And he whines in the middle of the night. He didn't used to do this, but the thing is, um, a few weeks ago he was like kind of ill, because he ate something bad. And then, so now I can't tell if he wants attention or if he's actually sick. So I look at his poop, and it's like, hey, poop's fine. So there's no reason for you to like whimper. But then it's so convincing when he's like, and he does this shit. And I'm like, oh man, what's wrong with you? And then I, go to the dog, and the dog is just like, not really engaging with me, doesn't try to communicate anything. He just wants me around him. Separation anxiety, I guess. It's yeah, the dog has been demanding a lot of my attention at like odd hours, like 3 a.m. in the morning. And I go out, and then I sleep on the sofa with the dog. Crazy times. But that's been happening. What else? Wow, I guess I had a lot of things I wanted to say. You know, I have eczema, and it's very itchy. But yeah, I went to Palm Springs recently, and in Palm Springs we went to the resort that has like natural spring water. So when I went there, the eczema really, really, really got better, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy, right?" And then I came back home, and then it got bad again, right? So okay, like all the other different factors aside, I thought maybe water is the culprit here, right? Because I went into this, well, new type of a water that I'm not usually, exposed to, and then I come back home, and then I take a shower, and then the skin goes back to the way it was again, right? So I'm like talking with my wife, like, honey, maybe it's about the water. And so my wife has been experiencing after showers very dry scalp and a very itchy, body, skin in general. So she was like, you know what? Let me get like a shower filter. And then so we got the shower filter that you install in the shower head, right? And then since then, the eczema got a lot better. So I'm thinking that water quality actually makes a big difference. So yeah, very random, but if you're having skin problems, especially after the shower, might be a good time to take a look at your water filter for showers. And I talk about this with a few of the people who know me, but I'm I have this like fear of cockroaches, right? And then that's a given. But another thing is, today I was cleaning my backyard, and then there was a little basically bird fetus. Like it was a bird that barely hatched. I don't think it even hatched at all. I think a wild animal tried to eat it, and then it just kind of slipped. And so the flies were gathered there, like, trying to eat on that, and then I saw that like little what would have been a bird. And made me think a lot about the circle of life, right? And then so okay, so I want to give it like a proper burial. I want to do that, but now I'm thinking I'm having that same kind of feeling that I get when I need to, clean up after the cockroach, because it dies after it gets sprayed. So I'm wondering, wow, this isn't even a cockroach, but I'm having that same feeling. So what is this that I'm so resistant to? And I think because I also noticed I feel the same way when I have to pick up dogs at the animal shelter that I volunteer in, right? Especially when the dogs are sick and old and they're frail, and having to touch and having to move their frail body, I think, is what gives me the anxiety. It gives me that kind of that fear of like, what if I hurt this? Which is crazy to think about because they're dead. Like so many of the, like the cockroaches and the birds today, they're dead. But I still feel like if I move it too abruptly, like I can't be careful enough to not hurt it even more, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about. But that's a random thing that came across my mind today. Uh, what else? Well, oh yeah, I have a in-person event in Los Angeles this Friday, so I'll make a separate video about that. And it's gonna be about procrastination. And if the participants of the workshop are okay with it, I'm gonna stream it here live on YouTube. So we'll see. Thanks for communicating with me, and see you in the next video.